This is the Apple Watch Ultra, and this is Apple's latest wearable. One of the three. So we did get two new ones at their fall event back in 2020. And when they first released this, I initially said I was not getting it because I didn't need it. I saw really no reason to upgrade at first. And then it came out in September, and then I waited about a month and got it in October because I said I want it. So I got it. And I gotta say, it's the best decision I made because I've worn this every day, and as someone who has always had a bigger Apple Watch, I really am enjoying the new design we got because having this bigger watch face just allows to showcase the simplicity and just how nice and well designed some Apple Watch faces are. So this is my current one that I'm using. It is the Nike Digital, which has the time on the sides, and then your messages, the date, and the Nike app, as well as my activity rings on the bottom. I really enjoyed this face, but I stopped using it when the Series 4 came out and we got the bigger screen because Apple was giving us more with our watch faces. And the Ultra's made me use it again because of how big the screen is. It really makes every interaction, every touch, every swipe, it really makes it perfect. And even with the slimmer design, because it does have a flat display, and this is the first Apple Watch to ever have a flat display, I've really been enjoying that. Because having the flat display, and while I was a fan of the rounded design, the flat display just makes interacting with the Apple Watch so much nicer, and I really enjoy the interface because now it is the same interface that is on every Apple Watch. Just having the flat display to work with, type with, write with, scribble, whatever it may be, has become really enjoyable. And it makes me see the rounded Apple Watches as dated almost. But it's pretty interesting to see how my opinions have changed because this design, while I said it multiple times, I am not the biggest fan of the natural titanium color. It's like a champagne gold color. And why didn't we get a space gray, space black titanium? You've done it in the past, Apple. I know you can do it. But hey, they gotta save some things for the Ultra too, right? Now, my other favorite thing is the sapphire glass. So the sapphire glass, while it is on the more expensive Apple Watches, I've only had the aluminum Apple Watches. This is my first high-end Apple Watch. And I put air quotes around high-end because it's nice, it's gorgeous, and it's $800. Which is also basically the same price as a stainless steel Apple Watch. So it's in the high-end market, although it's not an Apple Watch Edition because Apple didn't do that. And they could have if they wanted to, although Apple Watch Edition Ultra would have just made it too much. Now, as someone who goes rock climbing and has beaten up some Apple Watches, the new durability with the flat display, the the sapphire crystal, and just this flat display is also made for a more enjoyable experience when wearing it because I don't have to worry about it getting caught or snagged on something as much because the screen is protected by the titanium chassis, which is absolutely so cool. Now, you might notice I'm not wearing one of the Apple Watch Ultra bands. I am using a Nike Sport Band, and this is because I've had bigger Apple Watches in the past, and the bigger Apple Watch bands still work on the Apple Watch Ultra, which is pretty cool. I have a fair share of bands, and having them all still be able to work and not have to worry about them not working has actually been really enjoyable. Now, I do love the Alpine Loop, and that's the only one I've gotten. I have not gotten the Trail Loop or the Ocean Band yet because I was waiting on new colors from Apple with their spring release, although we didn't get that, and I'm kind of wondering why, because I would have gotten a few if they were nice and I really liked them. But hey, maybe they'll only be in the fall, and we'll just have to get more in the fall to hold us over. But hey, it is what it is. I don't make those calls. Someone at Apple does. Now, the Apple Watch Ultra, because of this redesign, also was able to add in another button. So this is an action button. And having the action button to start a workout, really do whatever I want, I love that. I really didn't think when I saw the action button I'd want it and that I'd use it. I use it on a daily basis. To start a workout, you just click it, it starts a workout. That's how I have mine set up. You can change it, but hey, everyone's different. You can customize it how you want it to be customized. So allowing that customization and options to make it whatever you want And that's rumored to come to the iPhone. And honestly, I'm here for it because having this button to do whatever I want, whenever I set it to do, I can set up a shortcut and have it linked to the Shortcuts app and then have that shortcut do whatever I want. So the possibilities are truly endless. Now, the Apple Watch Ultra does also have a higher depth rating. I'm not using that. So for me, I didn't really care about that. The deepest I'm going is 10 feet in a pool. So I don't really care about the deeper depth rating. And if I was to go deeper than 10 feet, you can go 50 feet with a standard Apple Watch. But I don't really need that. I don't really need that more than what I have. Like, it was fine for years, and I'm not going really that deep ever. And if I am, I'm probably not wearing my Apple Watch. I'd actually wear a computational computer that's meant for scuba diving or snorkeling. I wouldn't really trust some piece of tech on my wrist so fast. But that's just me. Now, the battery life. This was something I didn't think. When Apple announced it, I was like, okay, cool, 36 hours of battery life. That's double what a regular Apple Watch can get. That is not the case. I can easily go 3-4 days without charging my Apple Watch Ultra. And I have. And it's crazy to me to think that I really didn't turn on any low power mode or anything. I just turned on theater mode. That way it wouldn't turn on every time I turned my wrist, as well as have the always on display, and I was getting 3 days of battery life, no problem. And I didn't even, like, with my old Apple Watch, I would have no choice but to charge it. Even really on theater mode, I'd have 50% left by the time I'd be going to bed, and then it would kind of be like hit or miss if that could last me the next day. But having 75% left by the time I go to bed, this thing could go all day. I could track my sleep, I can go again. And we could just keep going and going until it gets low. And then when it gets lower, I can turn on low power mode and really extend it. As Apple says it can get up to 60 hours with low power mode, I've gotten more. I've heard people on Twitter get more. I've seen so many people get more. So it's really pretty interesting how they claim one thing and then just totally over-delivered, which I think is the good thing to do, because you don't want to overpromise and then under-deliver. You want to under-promise, over-deliver. That way it looks better on Apple, and it really does. Because I know many people I've actually spoken to about this, because everyone, whenever they see this, people always have to ask, because it's not, like, it's a big boy. Like, it's 49 millimeters, and I love the bigger size. But I have had people say, don't you think it's too big? And honestly, I think it fits fine on my wrist. But that's just me. Everyone's different. You can think whatever you want. You want to think it's too big for me? Fine. I don't really care. But hey. That's why we're all allowed to have our own opinions. But anyways, this also does have better GPS than a regular Apple Watch. So a regular Apple Watch has L1, and this has L1 plus L5 GPS. So that means if you're navigating between buildings, such like in this New York City or something like that, you'll be able to get better GPS results when you're tracking a workout or walk or run or whatever it may be. Now, this does also have track detection. I believe this is on the regular Apple Watches, but stay tuned as I do have a video coming out talking about track detection. But having it be so precise and be able to get you so perfect metrics is pretty cool, because I don't know any other Apple Watch that has been able to get me accurate metrics, because I'd work out with a Series 7 and I would get one day I would get 400 calories, the next day I'd get 250, and it's like, I did basically the same thing. Why are you giving me such a big discrepancy? And it was always kind of weird. I am getting consistent numbers with this. That could just be a software thing. But hey, I love this. It's absolutely great. And everything Apple's done, just give me a space black, dark titanium, whatever you want to call it, Apple. Just make it. And I know I'm not the only one who wants it. I know there are multiple people who want a darker colored Apple Watch. And I gotta say, the day we get one is gonna be pretty cool. So, I want to hear from you. If you have an Apple Watch Ultra, did you decide to upgrade to the Ultra? Did you hold out? Because I know I held out, and it was the best decision I made. I've used it for 6 months. Always the Apple Watch of choice on my wrist. But hey, I want you to leave a comment, and I also want you to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button while you're down there. That'd be great, because then that lets me know that you're enjoying this content. And I want you to remember, today's a good day to make a great day, and I will talk to you in the next one. Peace.